Hi, I'm Kevin,
And I'm Amanda.
and we are serving up
All that jam.
All That Jam, Quick Hit. Alex Wasily on Grammy nominations.
Right. Let's Amanda. Let's talk about the jam band label. You guys get lumped in with jam bands and jam band fans.
Mhm.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, dude, they're the bread and butter. They're the most insatiable fan base I think out there. Maybe besides Dave Matthews fans. Those, and we've worked with them, having played with them a few times. But the jam band scene, it's so funny how like it has such in my view such a negative connotation when people like talk about it as if it's like annoying
You
or
say that like it's a bad thing.
yeah, and like I don't think it's a bad thing, man. The we are not a jam band. Dumpstaphunk is not a jam band. I will say that until I die. We play
Most
song,
bands we talk to aren't.
right, and like, but we do fit the bill in the festival scene, and it's a great time. I'll play a show for. We always say we'll play a show for nobody. Where we've convinced everyone that they're having fun, but it's really us that's having the fun on stage for sure. But yeah, it's our bread and butter, and the people will show up 5 days, 10 days in a row, 12 days in a row, happily giving you their love and attention, and like they're like, oh man, they can tell you like, yo, your solo last night, the way that you played that compared to tonight, like things you don't even think about as a performer. They're like I love like Twitter. Fish's Twitter is like one of the funniest shit at like just worlds ever. Tom Marshall is like a really old family friend of ours, and like he's the man. And I love seeing like put a tweet up of like had breakfast at Waffle House today, and people and the Fish fans are like, how does it tie into the third record? Like the live thing that they did. Like they break down your shit, and it's honestly flattering. But um, there's a lot of hate for the jam band scene. I have none of it. I think those people are kind, the sweetest people on earth. They'll buy all your merch, they'll support you, and they'll never let go. If you know what I mean. Like they're
And it's always very accepting. You want to try the rock song, you want to throw in a Brazilian thing or something. They're like, bring it, let's do
yeah,
this.
dude, exactly. And then if anything, I like to think that Dumpstaphunk, the legends like Ivan Neville, Ian Neville, Tony Hall, and Nick Daniels, the sort of core four of that band, through Dumpstaphunk, through the jam scene, has like almost educated people that probably didn't know much about NOLA music, or probably didn't know too much about the meters, or like where honestly funk comes from is the meters, in my opinion. At least for the style that we're playing and for 90% of what's going on at New Orleans Jazz Fest. But I like to think that it's a fun little educational thing to share that kind of
Right.
music.
We need to do a feature length documentary on the Neville family,
Oh,
going back to Mardi Gras Mambo to,
oh, of course, man. Actually, there's a documentary that just came out called "Take Me to the River." I don't know if you've heard anything about that,
no,
but
I haven't.
we worked with this producer named Martin Shore, and he works tirelessly to really tell the story of New Orleans traditional music. It's on Amazon Prime, I think, right now. You can check it out, but I recommend it. It's pretty cool. It's George Porter and the Nevilles, and all like Cyril, Aaron, Ivan, and it's them telling stories, and it's pretty cool, worth the watch for sure.
Yeah. The education component is definitely a thing because I know that's come up before. And even just thinking back to my experience as a little, Tourette in the 90s, I'm from New Jersey. So there was just so much going on in the New York City area, back then. And thinking about like the jazz kind of connections to jam bands that also a lot of times is like, it's tenuous for the artist, but as a fan, I think you get like so much out of it. If you're willing to kind of like go with it.
Mm. I'm constantly learning, and I'm in the goddamn band, like, and it's fun. Like they'll say like, oh yeah, like this song that they're playing was actually written by this person but made famous by this band. That's like half the fun of Dumpstaphunk for me, is the long van rides. Is like those dudes are constantly talking about like a song will come on the radio, and they'll be like, oh man, the dude who produced that was in this band that turned into Earth, Wind and Fire, that then turned into this when they split off. And it's like I have all of these stories and things recorded, in my memory of the shit that these dudes know, and it's cool to see it come out on stage. And it's even cooler when, the fans recognize, and then we'll go and do a deep dive and then tell you about it. They'll be like, dude, I didn't know about the meters. It's like people reach out. That's another thing too. Jam fans will tell you my shit is constantly blowing up with like it's 99% people just being super nice and saying, yo, I had the time of my life, or you reached out on my website. People do that all the time. And it's fun when someone is like, yo, my kid is really into the meters now. It's like, dude, excellent. That's what we do this for, because it is a tradition for sure.
We were talking to Brian Haas about Reed Mathis's Electric Beethoven, and he told us a story about some guy who walked up and he'd seen him like 10 times and didn't realize that it was Beethoven songs.
That is still one of my favorite little moments.
That is deep, dude. That is deep.
He just loved it so much, and then I guess Haas like let him down and was like, yeah, they're Beethoven tunes.
Dude, I mean, honestly, the innocence, you just gotta love it. You gotta love it. That's so great.
If you are enjoying All That Jam, please like and subscribe to our social media channels at All That Jam Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our website, allthatjampod.com. Make sure to sign up for our email list and tune in every week for new episodes.
Also, look for full interviews on our YouTube channel. And remember, stay beautiful, but don't stay underground too long.